Let's start it. Recording. All right, good morning. They're supposed to bring me a laptop here soon, so I have to make a quick video. All right, let's get into what we are doing with our advertisement argument essay. I just created the discussion. I think we should be able to see it. Should be in here. All right, I'm going to go into student view, view as a student. All right, so let me share my screen here. Share screen. Here is our class. So we are getting into, let's go to content. We are getting into the advertisement argument essay, right? And so we're going to look into this idea that, let's see, Bloom's taxonomy discussion. We'll get into that later. And I'm really just going to talk about it. I really want us to focus on the birthmark application discussion and the advertisement argument. And I made that due Friday. I know I changed, I'm sorry, I know I changed due dates a lot. It's just because I'm kind of going with the flow of class. And so if I feel like we need an extra day for something, that I give us an extra day for something. It's really not too big of a deal. But we're getting into the advertisement argument essay. So let's open up the prompt. So here's the advertisement argument essay prompt. You're more than welcome to read all this, but we're really getting into how does a commercial use our identity to sell their product? We're going to talk about the word ethos, pathos, and logos, and we're going to think of ethos as our identity. How do they use our ethos, or actually, how do they use our identity to expand their ethos is really what we're going to talk about. So we're going to look at, again, how do they use our identity, our stories, who we are to build their ethos, to sell their product. And what I mean by their ethos, I mean like um, their ethos is this idea of we are a family-oriented company. That's our ethos. That's the ethos of the company, right? So you're more than welcome to look over this prompt. You know, it talks about that. It says music videos, songs, television shows, they all relate to our identity. They reflect our lives. So music videos reflect how we feel, songs reflect how we feel, television shows, they all reflect our lives, but so do commercials. So do commercials also reflect our lives. They try to use our lives to sell their product. So we're going to write an argumentative essay talking about that, comparing a music video to a commercial to discuss their ethos or how they use our identity to sell their product. And so we're also going to practice giving specific examples from our lives that relate to a Zach Bryan music video, that relate to the Iran truck commercial, right? And so this is all we're going to do. Again, you can look over this, reflect on the idea that commercials use our values, our morals, extend from our memoirs, incorporate at least three sources. So the three sources that we will have is a commercial. It doesn't have to be a Super Bowl commercial. I need to change. I don't want to change that. It takes a lot of time to change this, but just a commercial, like a Nike commercial. So at least three sources. So we're going to have what's called the identity source, the music video, and a commercial. It needs to be 3 to 4 pages, at least 1,000 words, right? So you can look at all this. It does have a built-in MLA assignment. I don't want to get into all that with just this video. I just want us to get us started, right? I just want to get us started with this, right? So you're more than welcome to follow this technique. It's what we'll do as we keep on going. Here's what I'll be looking for the MLA. But for now, just for today, let's just get started. So we don't want to get overwhelmed with everything that we're doing. Let's just get started in looking at what does a commercial and a music video have in common? Let's just start there. So let's go to discussions. So for this week, we're just simply going to look at how does how or what does, such as here's two. Here is a Relate music video, and here's a Google commercial. Here is a Zach Bryan. We'll look at this one. All right, let's look at this one together. So here is a commercial, Bass Pro Shop commercial. Fantastic commercial.
Don't forget, there are still rocks to be skipped. trails to be trampled, fish to be caught in it.
Love that.
The great outdoors are wide open, and they're calling us like never before. In these trying times, we need nature more than ever. We need nature to remind us that, like a sunrise, the turning of the tides, these challenges will pass. We need nature to help us heal and reconnect with the ones we love the most. So when you can, get back to nature, get back to each other. We're here for you.
All right, that's of course an old Bass Pro Shop commercial. I just really like it. I've used it for quite some time because it really relates to this Zach Bryan music video, Something in the Orange, right? So we watch that and then we say, okay, well, what does it have in common with something? And if you just want to make a list, if it doesn't, if you don't want to have a full paragraph, let's just make it good. Let's just make sure that we don't have three things or, two sentences, right? So this is I don't know how many points this is worth, like 50 points, 20. Anyway, it's worth a lot of points for you to really dig deep into one of these. And you're more than welcome to use any of these for you're more than welcome to use any of these for your essay also. Or you can hunt down like a Nike commercial and a song that you like that you think uplifts you. Good morning. How are you? Doing great. I have some coffee in there. Um, and there's I got you. I was about to say there's some vanilla creamer in the refrigerator also. So you're more than welcome
I
to any
also
of it.
brought some communal creamer
Sounds good.
and I brought decorative boards, but I will bring them out after class.
Gotcha. Sounds great. So we also have this Zach Bryan, Something in the Orange. Get through
Could you
this.
save by switching your car insurance to
Get
Allstate?
through this.
Well, let's say
One of these days I'm going to pay for YouTube. Now I'm not going to go through all of it, even though I want to really listen to this song. But so, what do these have in common?
Telling you, baby, these things
Not to sing it, y'all.
crazy.
Target audience is one. The target audience is, I'm not really the target audience for either the Bass Pro Shop or this commercial. I don't really, I love to hike and whatnot. And one of these days I'm going to get fit enough to really be a hiker. That's, on my to-do list, but I'm not there. I'm not really the target audience for Bass Pro Shop or this Zach Brown. So the target audience is the same.
When you place your hand between my collar and gold.
What's up with all the scenery, right? All the scenery, they're outside, they're outdoors. So anyway, just tell me what do they have in common? What does the Bass Pro Shop, I'm going to keep on playing it. What do they have in common? So that is just where we are just getting started today. We are just getting started with just a simple discussion as to, okay, well, what does a music video and what is a music video? Here's a really good one down here too. But do I have that is the Kawasaki. This one's funny. But what does a music video and a commercial have in common? And that's it. So we're going to start there. And then we'll go into next week, we'll go into block 2. I need to make that one. I need to make where we can't see it anymore. I don't like for you to be able to see everything. It gets a little overwhelming when you can see everything at once. So that's all you got to do. See, submit. Again, that's all you got to do is go to the birthmark. That's actually next Friday. So don't worry about that. I'm going to see what that is. And then next week, we're going to jump into that gift of voice. And then we're going to look into a tutorial, some logical fallacies, some academic stuff. So next week, we're going to start finding our sources. And then the third week, we'll pretty much write the essay, right? So all that week 7, September 29th through October 3rd, we're going to write the essay. We're going to do some peer review. I do a little bit differently. Don't worry too much about it. But again, if you're ever lost, which we're halfway through, so I'm sure you're there, just go to that submit. All right, so please just keep it simple this week. Just go to your discussion board and just look at your discussion board and look at these, pick out one of these and tell me what they have in common. And we'll start very simply there. And we're going to keep building on top of that. You don't have to tackle everything at once. And you probably could. You probably understand what we're doing. But just go to this discussion board. And while you're at it, you can go to Is that the only one I have open? I think so. There's the other birthmark discussion board, and it's just 10 bonus points. It's just saying, well, what does the birthmark have in common with these commercials also, with this idea anyway, I don't want to. So what does the birthmark have in common with it also? All right, so keep it simple. Just do the discussion boards.